Would you want to live with or commit to someone who admits to being crazy?
No, because they're not willing to change. They're just accepting that they're crazy and I'm going to do crazy shit, so you should accept it. And
Why does
That makes it so hard to be a man, though, bro. All these women just think it's cool to be crazy. All these women brag about it. Even if they aren't crazy, they'll act like they're crazy. That makes it so hard for men to even find a woman that's worth his time.
Subscribe to this channel in case you are watching this channel and you have not subscribed.
Would you agree that women are more complicated than men?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, and the short answer, yes, in certain situations.
Are men too simple to understand women, or are women just too complex to be understood?
I think that men are too simple to understand women.
I think that women are too complex.
Honestly, that might be one of the first times I've ever seen two women disagree on this channel.
I just don't think men ask enough questions. Like, I think like women are very vulnerable. Like, I think most women I know like are gonna tell you like, yo, this is an issue, like fix this, hello, and then, you know, I mean,
Bro, that's cap. The only reason why she feels like that is because she's a female friend. So whenever the female has problems, she runs and tells her about the problem. Women don't tell their man about the problems. If anything, the man is the last one to find out that their woman has a problem with them. Men are so oblivious whenever there's a problem in the relationship because they don't see it. They don't peep it. They don't read body language like that. Men are terrible at reading body language. I might be wrong on this, but I feel like there is no way in hell, from every first-hand account that I've had, every one of my homies' relationship that they've been in, even TV shows show it all the damn time about how a woman will have a problem, run and tell their friends about it. Their friends will comfort them and tell them that however they feel is justified, and tell them that they just need to leave their man, or or they're not happy, they deserve better. The woman gets brainwashed and then goes back to the man and leaves him, and he has no idea what the fuck's even going on. Last he knew, everything was happy-go-lucky.
what do they say? What's the statistics of divorce? Like 80% of women, like,
Oh my
you know,
God.
initiate divorces, and then men are like, oh my God, I didn't know what happened. Like, bitch, your wife was telling you for the past 12 years, like, what she needed, and you didn't do it, so.
Is it
You think that all 80% of the divorces are men's faults is because they don't listen to what their woman wants? The divorce rate is so high because women have the incentive to leave. Women are pretty much bribed to leave their man. Most of the time, they get to take half of what the man owns, so the man's left with nothing at all. He's probably 40, 50 years old. He lost half of his retirement, his house, his car, anything that he has saved up. He's lost everything. He's 50 years old, and now he's just shit out of luck while his wife gets to go on and live a happy-go-lucky life, getting to live for free off of him, and then also go find a man to still take care of her, which is another reason why the divorce rate is so high. You think a man would rather himself than fix a problem in a relationship? No, man. It's always the man's fault.
better to be complicated or to be simple?
I think it's better to be complicated. Gives you depth.
Better to be complicated, but in the dating sense, probably better to be simple. Easier to manipulate.
Oh my God, bro. Why do women always think that men want to manipulate them? Women turn into the man. The man's humor becomes the girl's humor. The man's favorite TV shows, movies, music, interest, all that shit becomes a woman's favorite also. It has nothing to do with a man manipulating y'all. Just because y'all switch up on your personality so much doesn't mean we try to make it happen. You guys get with us and you end up turning into us. We do not force none of that.
Why is it better to be complicated if it's harder to be understood?
Because when someone can understand you, they understand all those complex parts of you, and then I feel like you get a deeper connection.
Yeah, same here. I feel like there's more to dig into and more layers to uncover, but in the long run, it might not work out, but
Yeah.
Women often describe themselves as complicated, emotional, even crazy. Do you think women actually want to be understood?
yes.
Wouldn't that hold them to
I think they want to be, but they're crazy, so they just they don't know how to be.
a standard?
It's complicated because
Hey, she said the name. She said the name.
we say like we want something, but then we just say that to make you feel like we want something else. Like when our partner is going out to get some food, oh, we don't want any food, but as soon as you come back, you didn't get me anything. Yeah, so it's basically it is complicated.
If women were easily understood, wouldn't that hold them accountable?
Yes, yes,
Wouldn't that make it harder to manipulate?
yes.
Is there any
I don't get that.
better manipulation strategy than remaining an unidentifiable threat?
Guilt tripping. That always works.
That's the best tactic you can use, and that's a tactic they use all the time, definitely. If you understand your woman and you understand why she say the shit she say, do the shit she do, then she can't manipulate you. But if you don't understand why she do the shit she do, then she for sure gonna be able to run circles around you, manipulate you, all types of shit. You feel me? Especially if you're goofy.
Would you want to live with or commit to someone who admits to being crazy?
No, because they're not willing to change. They're just accepting that they're crazy and I'm going to do crazy shit, so you should accept it. And
why does
that makes it so hard to be a man, though, bro? All these women just think it's cool to be crazy. All these women brag about it. Even if they aren't crazy, they'll act like they're crazy. That makes it so hard for men to even find a woman that's worth his time.
Why do so many women admit to being complicated, emotional, even crazy, and think that's acceptable behavior?
It's today's times. Like, people are just out of their minds nowadays.
Yeah, man.
So it's like, it's accepted by everybody. It's glorified all over the place with media, music, TikTok, internet, Instagram, all that.
That's what they
honestly, like, that's another thing that's I'm just as guilty as everybody else. Like, I don't understand why this music that is just terrible, that is just obviously a bad influence, is the most popular music. Is it because all the popular people know that this is the stuff, so they rap about it or they sing about it? Or is it just because people really are entertained by it? I think going down a block and shooting up a house is just as stupid as anybody else. Well, at least I would assume anybody else. But yet that motherfucker still slap when it come on the radio.
They been all their life. You gotta think like, that's just them. You feel me? They don't even women don't even understand themselves. Sometimes they do something, don't even understand why they did the shit.
How likely are women willing to accept men for just the way men are?
Not at all. A woman wants you to be how she wants you to be, type shit. You feel me?
So why should men accept women for just the way that women are?
Cause they women, like, shit. You can't live with them. You can't live without them. For real.
Fuck that saying, man. Yeah, you can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can 100% live without bitches. It's that type of sayings that make these women think they can do whatever the fuck they want. And it's these type of dudes, I don't know if he's a cuck, but the way he was talking, he sure seems like one, is these types of dudes that let these women think that they can because they're so desperate to find someone. Like, stand your ground or something. Get a backbone. These men nowadays are just weak.
I see it as a way of a woman just making excuses to do whatever they feel like they want.
How likely are women willing to accept men for just the way that men are?
It's rare. It's very rare.
So why should men accept women for just the way that women are?
We shouldn't, but we do.
Who is more
trying to get a girl to change is like pulling teeth. That shit is, I swear, is impossible. It's like I feel for women because I really do feel like most of them realize that they have these problems, but there's just something in them, in most women, at least from my experience, that they don't understand. Like, okay, well then I need to start working on this. I swear every woman just thinks like, well, that's me. That's my character. That's who I am as a person. So you had to deal with it. Like, nah. As a man, I've changed so much for women. If I do see a flaw in myself, I will change that. And especially if it's laid out in front of me. I feel like women, you could lay out every single problem in front of them and they would ignore every single one of them and somehow try to flip it onto you. Like, it's your fault that they have this problem. Like, no.
Shallow, men or women?
Shallow? Can you define shallow? Like,
shallow is you only go for looks. You don't look on the deeper surface.
Oh, shallow.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to say women, low key.
They are, because men don't care what kind of car women have. They don't care what kind of phone you have. They don't care where you live. Women, they kind of do. Like, they care what.
They're like, well, you're broke.
Like, are you broke? Are you made of money? Like,
is it good looking? Is it tall?
It's women. Women are more gold diggers than men. I would say.
It, but it's kind of us.
It depends.
Who would have knew that those two would have been the ones that were straight up and honest about it. But yeah, I'm in that video there, y'all. If you guys want to see the rest of the video, comment down below and I'll react to the rest of the video. You know I love my guy. It's complicated. But yeah, as always, please give your boy a like on the video. If you got anything to say about the video, anything to say to me, any recommendations for a future video, let me know. I'll read every single comment. And if you fuck with me, please give me a subscription. With that being said, deuces.
Supposed to be. She thinks she leeching probably, but she won't get nothing from me. Say you let me, I doubt it. I'll fuck around and pay the fee. It's a whole lot of hate up in your eyes and I can see it.
Hate all in your eyes and you been praying on my damn.